Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the HTC Ascension Challenger Invitational. My name is Seth Achilleos King. With me today is Bill Jumpman Carter. Bill, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm ready to get it rolling. We've been waiting for this moment for quite a while now. We've got 16 of the top Challenger teams from all across North America, United States, Canada, as well as Central America. It's time to get going.
I could not agree more. For game one of the group stages, we have Lyon Gaming versus DZG Fire. DZG has two teams in this tournament, Storm, which we will be seeing later on. But we're going to go ahead and get things kicked off here. You can see we are already into the picks and bans, and we'll see what these guys are going to prioritize. Lyon, of course, coming from, like you said, the Lyon server. Let's see what these guys are going to bring to the table. Almost qualified for the international wildcard. Fell just shy of that one. So definitely a team to keep our eyes on for this tournament. We'll see how they stack up against our North American talent.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see exactly what they're going to do. We are on patch 5.21 for any of you that are wondering. So we're 3 patches ahead of what Worlds was. So there's all kinds of things that could pop out. One of those specifically, Kindred, which we actually have banned right off the table right away.
Yeah, and that's not too surprising. She's just been stomping through solo queue for the most part. You put a Kindred in the hands of somebody that knows what they're doing with that champion, and it's just almost impossible to kill her or the team if she's around with that ultimate Lamb's Respite. So not too surprising that we see that one taken off the table. The Gangplank coming through as well. Standard ban, even though he did just get nerfed very slightly, still fairly unsurprising to see that one taken away. And Tom Kench, just an absolute monster, pretty much in whatever role you give him, whether it's support, top lane, jungle, he can excel in the hands of the abled. So not too surprising we see that one off the board. Final ban now for DZG Fire. Let's see what they want to take away, because there are a lot of power picks still on the table. Darius available, Fiora as well. Mordekaiser also on the table. It's going to be the Viger going through, however. So,
yeah, they're going to take the Vigar away from the mid lane. A very solid ban in general. He did have a couple little nerfs at the patch, but it's nothing too crazy to really talk him off the board. I want to see what they're going to prioritize right here. Lyon Gaming has been known to really pick a solid jungler or a mid laner, and it looks like they're actually going to lock in the Lulu. That can be a flex pick. Lori or Yuri and Lord Giral can pull those out, but still, you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, definitely a good first pick coming in for these guys. We saw this heavily prioritized by many teams in Worlds. Most of the time, Lulu, got a lot of bans received on that end. So interesting that it made it through. Will get grabbed up. We'll see where it's going to go, whether it is that top lane or the mid lane. Could even be support for all we know. But more likely going to be the first two. Braum Rek'Sai coming through, however, for DZG Fire. So looking to get that very consistent jungler in their possession, as well as Braum, who pretty much excels in just about any position. In any team composition, he does very well to disengage, stop heavy engagement onto your carries with that shield and whatnot. So not too much showing from the start of the picks here for DZG. Now back over to Lyon, hovering onto this Rengar. I believe this is actually one of the champions that their jungler plays, but it's just a little too inconsistent. I'm not too certain if we're actually going to see that one come through. It'd be a very confident pick if he decides to lock that one in.
Now, he has been known for his Evelynn play as well, so that's something that could be picked up. I'm not too sure that that's something that they're going to want to pick into this with it being against a Rek'Sai. I really do like the decision by Doom Trobo to actually take that Rek'Sai away with Elise off the board, securing the one of the other 2 top-tier junglers. It's going to be really good, but it's actually going to be a Fiora lock-in for the top lane, which is going to send Lulu to the mid, as well as Arsh being able to pick up the Morgana to counteract this Braum. This leaves a lot of different things on the table. It didn't show their hand too much. They still have their mid laner and their AD carry that they can pick up, so they left things a little bit out in the open. I want to see what DZG is going to do to combat this. They can pick up their mid laner now because there's nothing too much that they can do, or they can go ahead and just save that for the last spot. I wouldn't be surprised actually if they pick up an AD carry right now. We do still have someone like a Vayne available, as well as the Jinx and the Tristana. We all know the North American teams love getting that Tristana into their hand. Nothing here is nothing short of wanting that to potentially grab up.
Yeah, Jinx as well would be a fantastic one to snatch up. Saw heavy priority coming through for a lot of teams once again at Worlds. Looks like it will in fact be the Tristana and the Renekton pickup coming in as well. We saw Maran run that into Fiora at the World Championship and absolutely destroyed his opponent in lane. So not too surprising that we see that be the go-to counter here. We'll have to see if Max Trobo can play that nearly as strongly as Marin can. That will yet to be decided. But back over to Lyon. Last round of picks have to lock in the jungle and the AD carry here. We can already see this hover over top of the Draven would be a pretty bold decision if they want to lock this one in.
Channeling their inner BRTT, representing the Latin America, Brazil era. But no, they're hovering back and forth trying to figure something out. Again, I wouldn't be surprised if a Jinx gets picked up right here. She is so strong right now, especially with the team fight that they have and the zoning potential to be able to keep people off of her. I wouldn't be surprised if they do lock this in. The jungle pick, though, is going to be the next, and it looks like they're actually going to lock in the Echo. That is not what I was expecting right off the bat, but it does fit in this control kind of composition that they're having right now. It's not necessarily protect the Jinx, but it's very solid at keeping people locked down and letting their carries just crank off as much damage as humanly possible.
Yeah, this isn't something that we've seen really recently with that Echo pick. At least in the jungle, we saw a good amount of him in the mid lane recently. Though even then, I feel like he still underperforms, and there was a lot of prioritization placed on him for reasons that I'm unaware of. I never really saw the Echo mid go off too much in recent history. So interesting to see this one coming through in the jungle for Frag on the side of Lyon Gaming. Final pick coming through, however, now for DZG Fire, it's going to be this mid lane. Lulu, very consistent, hard to punish early because she's got so much harass from range with that help picks, with the Glitter Lance extension that she gets. I have to wonder what they're going to lock in, and it's going to be a very decisive victor. Locks it in almost immediately. So DZG Fire looks like they know exactly what they want from this composition, and it does look pretty disgusting. Renekton, big tanky front line with that Rek'Sai and the Braum as well. So lots of protection coming through for Cobra and for Nothing here on these carry positions. So they might be able to just sit back from range and really just pump out the damage. It's going to take a lot for Lyon to get through that front line.
Yeah, I want to see the top lane matchup specifically with Max Trobo, looking at exactly what he's done in the past and what we've seen him play. He really loves those carry top laners, and not only being able to create himself on a playmaking kind of carry top laner like Renekton, as we all saw Marin, like you said, in the Worlds, do a fantastic job. Renekton actually does fairly good against Fiora in lane, so that might be something that they want to get. They want to try to force that 1v1 matchup. So seeing what they're going to do in this early game, whether it be with the warding to try to prevent the 2v1 swap and get that 1v1 matchup for Max Trobo, might be really important as we head into this game.
Yeah, well, we can only ask so many questions and analyze so much. Only time is going to provide us with the answers that we desire. But just taking a look at the flat team compositions that we have here, which do you favor, Bill? Do you like that of Lions, which seems to be kind of like hyperscaling with this Jinx, a lot of protection for her? You have the Wild Growth, the Black Shield. Do you like that kind of style, or do you think that DZG Fire is going to be able to find some ground earlier on and maybe punish this composition from a line that has to scale up?
I actually am favoring the DZG composition right now. Looking at the way it has, they just have a much more solid teamfight composition because, like you said, they can sit back, they can wait, or they can be the aggressor. They've got a beautiful control mage with the Victor. He actually has ended up taking Ignite into this, so he's going to try to apply a lot of lane pressure early and really propel them ahead into this early game. You mix that in with the late game scaling that you have from a Tristana and the protection that Vulcan is going to be able to create with his Braum. I like the way that their team composition rolls up. My only caveat to that, though, is the snowball potential coming out of Lyon Gaming. If they can get some kills onto the Fiora early, or if they can get some kills onto the Jinx early, there is a very big opportunity for them to just take this game and really roll with it.
Yeah, and lastly, what do you think we're going to see as far as build path coming out here for Frag on this Echo? Like you said, it's not something that we've seen in recent history. He hasn't even had much done to him in patches in recent history as well. Do you think that we're going to see that more reliable tanky build, or do you think that maybe it's game one, it's group stage, you got a double round robin? Do you think we'll maybe see a little bit more of a YOLO build? Will go for some damage. Which do you think will be favorable to them?
I think he's going to go standard. A lot of times, especially when you're the very first featured team on an HTC tournament, you're going to have to want to play safe. You're going to want to have to remain consistency. Consistency in these long double round robins are going to be the key to victory in getting out of the group stages. So I don't see them doing anything too crazy. There's not that much on the line. It's just game one. This is a best of three, so they can just hang out, chill out, and get things rolling.
Well, speaking of hanging out and chilling out, we're going to do that for the next couple minutes here as we go to the rest of our spectator delay. When we come back, however, it's going to be Game 1, Lyon Gaming versus DZG Fire, kicking off the HTC Ascension tournament. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the HTC Ascension Challenger Invitational. My name is Seth Achilleos King. With me is Bill Jumpman Carter, and we are on to the Rift in our first game of the group stages. It's Lyon Gaming versus DZG Fire. On the blue team is Lyon with Girol in the top lane, Frag in the jungle on the Echo, Yuri in the mid lane on Lulu, Core Pride at the AD carry position with Jinx, and Arce coming in on support with the Morgana.
And for DZG Gaming Fire, we've got in the top lane Renekton, Max Trobo in the jungle with Rek'Sai, Doom Trobo in the mid lane, Victor on Cobra. Nothing here at AD carry on Tristana, and Vulcan on that Braum support. Already, just very, very basic. Both teams respecting the line of scrimmage. Nothing as aggressive as what we might hope for at the first game for the tournament, but looks like they're just going to play standard, play careful, and rock with the level 1s.
Yeah, nothing too surprising in that regard. These teams haven't played against each other to my knowledge, so they might not know what to expect from each other in that regard. You know, doing some research of people's solo queue is only going to get you so far, so no one looking to get too risky this early on in the tournaments. Like you said, sticking with that standard 5-point line of scrimmage across the map. No deep wards being placed. We will, however, have this lane swap up at the top side of the map with Core Pride and Arce. So going to be looking to get that experience and keep them away from this Tristana Braum in that bot side of the map. Otherwise, looks like we will just have some fairly standard starts for the rest of these players. Vulcan and nothing here on the side of DZG. Going to be taking away that Gromp for themselves, so they will get a little bit of that experience boost.
Yeah, exactly what we predicted in the pregame. They're not wanting to do that 1v1 matchup with Max Trobo and Girol. They want to keep that Fiora away, want to give her time to let her do what she wants, but at the same time, on the same token, that's going to give Core Pride the ability to sit in that top lane, farm themselves up, and it looks like they're actually going to leave nothing here alone in the bot lane. DZG Fire just opting to let Vulcan roam around, get some vision, figure out where the junglers are. This is going to be really important in this early game. They need to know where these junglers are. They need to make sure where the pressure is going to be applied. We've seen all kinds of 2v1 strategies, so trying to predict and use the process of elimination to figure out which way they're going to go is going to be extremely important as we move forward.
Yeah, we can see so far just this mirrored invade happening across the map here. Girol and Frag moving in, taking the red buff. Doom Trobo and Max Trobo going to be doing exactly the same thing all along that bottom side of the map. Looks like they're not going for any heavy tower pushes quite just yet. Really just looking to take away as much of each other's jungle as humanly possible. As we can see, the Raptors do get finished off on both sides. However, with that Morgana, one additional person roaming up to this top side of the map, they might make a concerted effort to push down this tower.
I wouldn't be surprised if you're right, going right into the top lane. They're going for this really fast 4-man push, get the tower down, but as a response, DZG Fire is going to do the exact same thing, send their top lane and jungler down to the lane, try to get this stuff pushed out as much as they can, get these waves reset. It's going to take a little bit to bounce that wave off in the top side, so it might actually provide a favorable matchup for Max Trobo once he gets back up there. But, like we said, all in all, 4-man push, just basic 2v1 strats, man. It's the days of League of Legends.
Yeah, nothing too surprising here. Looks like both of these teams will be able to get the towers. Neither going to miss it on these pushes. Max taking his time, trying to deny as many of those creeps as humanly possible. And we can see a nice wave still waiting up there on the top side of the map, but they're just going to go ahead, back off, and spend this hard-earned gold that they just netted for themselves. Meanwhile, this mid lane, fairly standard so far. Nothing too crazy coming out of this one. We saw Yuri was harassing Cobra a little bit earlier on in this lane, but so far has kind of backed off. You can see CS about dead even between most of these lanes, junglers as well. So no real gold lead's going to be gained, 6.3 across the board. But next move could decide, you know, who is going to start taking a foothold in this match. We'll see what these guys decide to do.
They've already moved their pawns. The chess match has started. It's now time to start figuring out what you're going to do with your knights and bishops and your other more important pieces. As we actually have run things back around, the 2v1 has got swapped again. So you do have Max Trobo in the bot lane by himself, and then nothing here in Vulcan swapped up to that top side to make a little bit more of an unfavorable advantage. So what this is going to do is this could possibly create an opportunity for a dragon for Lyon Gaming if they so choose. Core Pride and Arce doing a really good job at having a fairly decent wave in this bot lane to have things pushed up. Frag, however, is in the top lane. Looks like he just wants to support Girol, so no dragon on the mind yet. Might have to wait a couple more minutes before that gets on the menu.
You see nothing here, putting some good damage down on this top side. of the map using that explosive charge to maximize. Jill takes a little bit of damage from that one as well. Max Robo, though, gets bound up in this bot lane. The zap goes through, takes a lot of damage, has to slice and dice away to safety to keep himself alive. Almost went down. It was looking a little bit scary there for the Crocodile. And he's going to have to be a bit more cautious when he comes back into this lane. As you can see, that binding into trap combination is just absolutely near deadly.
The chain CC that they can provide is just pretty scary indeed. He does go back, forces the teleport out. It looks like Doom Trobo now is going to come try to help his support out the best he can. They're going to try to push this up, provide a little bit of extra pressure, and it looks like Frag is going to do the same. So as of right now, it's pretty much a mirror matchup as far as every little piece goes, but Doom Trobo, though,
here we go again. Yeah, binding straight into the choppers yet again. Max Robo goes forward, has the black shield there. It's not going to be able to get the stun. There's no tower for Core Pride, however. The Lulu is coming down. The teleport coming into the dry brush as well. Flash over the wall there for Core Pride, but it doesn't even matter. Max Robo, he picks up the first blood with a flash of his own, but now with the follow-up, it looks like it's going to be a 2-for-1 going over in favor of DZG, but meanwhile in the top lane, Frag goes down as well, so a 2-for-2 across the board.
If one fights, everybody has to fight. That advantage, though, is definitely going to go over into the hands of Lyon Gaming. Both of the kills they secured are going to be on the top lane as well as the mid lane. Something that we talked about in the pregame. We don't want Geralt to get rolling if you're DZG Fire. You don't want him to get the gold in his pocket and get things going. He was able to pick up that kill, has an assist now as well. The turret gold is going to help, and he's actually looking at a much better spot than Max Turbo is at this time.
And both of those tier 1 towers in the bot and top side get traded out as well. So 2-2 in towers, 2-2 in kills, but it's very slight gold lead now for DZG, but it's almost completely negligible. We could see most of that is actually going to be coming from the CS discrepancy that's kind of building up between these top laners and these AD carries, just kind of barely splitting even with each other there. But DZG making some aggressive moves, getting punished for it a bit, gonna have to play much more cautiously moving forward. If they have a repeat performance like that, you can only trade evenly so much going into this composition with Core Pride on this Jinx. If you give her those items that she needs, it's just going to be disastrous for you the further you move into this game. You can see Pickaxe, Avarice Blade coming out from both of these AD carries. So going to be dealing pretty similar damage. Nothing here having a slight advantage because of that explosive charge. And Core Pride barely having any crit, needs a bit more of that to get rolling. But so far, so good for both of these teams. It could still go either way.
Exactly. One of the things I have to point out, though, is Lyon Gaming is doing a very successful job right now at prioritizing vision. Look at the amount of wards that they have around the Dragon Pit right now. They were able to clear things out. They got 3 really early sweepers as opposed to DZG Fire's 1. So they're really making sure to play the deny game to secure the vision around that Dragon. They've been the proactive team thus far with the Lulu Roam as well as the Fiora teleport in the bot lane early. They're trying to make everything that Fire does is a reactionary technique. This is a very successful tactic that you can employ if you can successfully pull it off. And as of right now, if they continue this warding up, they might actually be able to get a solid dragon out of it.
Yeah, definitely going to be the next point of contention on the board here. We can see DZG stretching that lead where before it was just about 100, 200 gold, now up 800. So making some moves to get themselves even more of an advantage in this matchup. Getting a nice solid push onto this mid tower. Takes a good bit of damage. Nothing here doing what he can, try to burn that one down. But the wave clear coming out from the side of the blue team is still pretty good with that dark pool. You have that clear lance as well from Yuri. So they clear out the minions as best as they can. But you can see DZG, they are committed. They're going to stick around in this mid lane and try to burn this down. And without Jinx here, we can see that Frag now on his way with this Echo. It looks like his tower might just fall to DZG. We're just forcing their way into this mid lane. That's going to be the ultimate coming across from Volk as he pops up Yuri. He uses a wild growth on himself, but barely any HP goes through. Nothing here, jumps forward, but he's not going to be able to find a target. Finishes off Arce, though, with that max range auto attack. Now Frag goes forward. The Mega Death Rocket hits, but barely gets away there for the Tristana. Not able to get taken down. Good snipe from the bot lane, but just not enough damage to find the fatal blow. Good pickup for DZG Fire, finding themselves a kill and a tower off that push.
That's a good solid momentum that they just swung in their way. They were able to pick up the tower, able to barely snag a kill onto Arce, and the spread out movement that you had from Lions was not enough to be able to compete. It all started with Cobra zoning everyone out with a beautiful gravity shield right there, keeping everybody at bay, and then they just said, do dive, go, rolled with it, were able to pick up everything. Plus, they're sporting about a 1.3k gold lead now. You've got Victor able to go back, has just got the Hex Core MK2 upgrade, so he's going to have a little bit of speed boost on that Q ability, and now is the time where the Dragon Pings are coming out. You have the teleport available on Max Turbo. Teleport's almost available. It's sitting at 45 seconds from Lord Giral, so now is the time where we might actually get to see our first 5v5 fight if they decide to group up and change their priorities.
Yeah, Giral's still in the top lane, though. That teleport gonna be available in a little bit, so we'll see if Lyon tries to delay and wait for that. DZG could just go ahead and start forcing out this dragon. They're going to get concussive blow stacks building onto Arce. Will they proc it? Looks like they will not get enraged. Max Trello almost getting stunned up by that Echo with his parallel convergence. Not going to be able to find it though. Cobra taking a lot of damage. Almost gets the 3-stack proc off of that Echo. Doom Turbo down to half HP. They're going to have to tiptoe around this dragon quite cautiously if they want to walk away with this one. Giral now has the teleport available. Looks like DZG, they're aiming to start this one up, and they do just that.
Arce is
really
just...
tense.
They don't want to engage right now. They're trying to do something. Arce is level 5, so Lions Gaming cannot go into this fight. They aren't going to have the ultimate available from that Morgana, which, as we know, is a huge zoning technique. So they need to allow her to get the XP up. If we look at it right now, she's only about 3/4 of the way there. They do secure the tower, so they delay the inevitable fight a little bit more, push DZG Fire off the dragon, but that level 6 is going to be needed before they decide to do a full-on fight. They're clearing out the vision right now. Again, prioritizing the denial of vision from DZG Fire. They want to make sure that any time or any opportunity that they're going to go for the Baron, they're going to know, or Dragon, should I say, they're going to know when it's happening, and they're going to find a way to counteract it.
Yeah, and that was really good pressure applied by Giral. Didn't just blow the teleport as soon as he got it. Knew that DZG was just a little bit too low to actually commit to that dragon. So just applied pressure on that top side of the map toward that tier 2 tower. DZG, knowing that he would have been able to take that had they gone straight to the dragon, they go ahead and they peel back off. And Lyon picks up that mid tier 1 for their troubles. We could see, though, DZG coming straight back to this dragon. Started up, trying to pull it out. Looks like they are going to go ahead and commit to this one. And there's really just no members of Lyon nearby. And with the vision swept out, they're just not even going to see this one happening. They will get notified of it. Oh, that rocket almost gets the steal. I thought for sure that Core Pride had taken that one away, but it does get confirmed by Cobra. The smite not even used there by Doom Turbo. That would have been a facepalm moment for DZG. But good first dragon going over to Fire. Lyon not able to acquire it.
They grabbed an inch and took it a mile right there. They knew exactly when they were going to go back. They hurried up, rushed the dragon down. They're starting to slowly get up to the spikes that they need. You're only about 1,000 gold away from the Infinity Edge. Excuse me, onto the Tristana, as well as good little spike right there from Cobra. So they had the damage to be able to get the dragon down a solid amount. So what they do, they recognize the backs, they secured the dragon. They're only up about 300 gold right now, though. So this is a very even game. We can't count either team out yet. Again, this is the first game. They're pretty much feeling them out. They're doing a little bit of here, a little bit of here. Just trying. It's like the first date. It's the awkward questions that you ask to figure out, you know, what direction they're wanting to go with the date. But they just, at this point in time, they don't know. It's difficult.
Indeed, but still dead even just about across the board. That dragon's going to start stacking up nicely here for DZG Fire, however, as Cobra and Nothing here start getting their items in. We can see that BF Sword pickup has come in for the Tristana. Still down a bit in CS, but with those 2 kills, is keeping himself very slightly inched ahead of Core Pride by about 100 gold, if not a little bit less than that. So still very close in that regard. But that 6% is going to start stacking up quite nicely for him. Frag gets hit by that Braum Q, is going to have to go ahead and dash his way out. We can see DZG, yet again, just looking to force these towers. They have the pushing power for this Tristana. They're just working through this one. The parallel convergence goes in. That's going to be Frag jumping in. He gets 2 stunned up. The Glacial Fisher comes through and just knocks somebody up. Now Nothing here has to back off. Almost gets taken down by the rocket yet again. And this is DZG Fire going to be heading for the hills as they hightail it out of that top lane. Unable to acquire the tower, but getting it damn close. Down to just about half HP off of that push. Have to still play just a little bit more cautiously. They get a little bit too overconfident in these pushes, and they almost suffer for it.
It seems like they're very unsure of the exact amount of damage output that Lions Gaming has right now. Actually, we might have to send a pause on this Arce.
Yeah, Max Trollo getting taken quite low, has to flash out, but he gets locked up by that Morgana ultimate. The Soul Shackles lock him in, and he gets taken down by the Binding. Arce confirming that kill. Now 3-3, and the gold lead going in favor of Lyon.
again, they just are unsure of exactly what kind of damage output Lions Gaming can do. Max Trobo tried to get something all in Arce, but this team followed up real quick, was able to secure the kill. That forced a flash out of Core Pride, so he's going to have that down, but still picking up that kill. Another little bit of a chess movement, a chess move here and there, this time going in favor of Lions Gaming. DZG, they're just so confused at this point in time. They don't know where they want to do, how they want to do it. Every chance that they get to go aggressive gets pretty quickly quelled by Lions Gaming, and it forces them to back off. And at this point in time, the more that they do this, the more this is going to allow the scaling as well as the team fight onslaught that Lions Gaming can provide to scale up.
Yeah, it's starting to look really scary here for DZG if they can't press these advantages. They keep going for these towers, unable to secure them, almost getting taken out in a lot of these fights. And you see Max getting picked off there in that mid lane by Arce, confirming the kill. It's just looking worse and worse for them as this game goes on. If, like we said, if Core Pride gets rolling, once he has this Infinity Edge completed, if he can get the Static Shiv or the Phantom Dancer, whichever he decides to go for, he's going to start rolling out these crits constantly, and he's just going to hammer the ranks of DZG. So they have to capitalize on really small advantages or find some picks like Lyon is able to be finding. And if they can't do that, then they're just going to fall to the wayside. You can see Doom Turbo here now just trying to get some vision put down forward in the jungle. But there's just good enough vision control from Lyon Gaming themselves that they see this and they can just go ahead and clear it right out.
Their defensive warding, I have to commend very well for Lyon. They are understanding exactly how much pressure that DZG wants to apply with these deep visions. And so they're throwing the defensive pink wards, they're throwing all their sweepers in and about as quickly as they can, and it's really provided a lot of beneficial strategy for them because, like we say, DZG is all over the place. First, they're going to siege top, then they're going to siege mid, then they're going to get caught mid. Now they're going to rotate towards the bot lane. You've got Dragon spawning in about a minute and a half, so that's where we're going to see them start to congregate. But every move that they're making, it looks like Lyon is just ready and waiting in the wayside to just capitalize on any kind of a misstep that DZG decides to make.
Yeah, and that's exactly how Lyon needs to play this. Rather than just, trying to go ham and force these plays, just play the reactionary game like they've been doing throughout this game. Just respond and then capitalize on DZG's mistakes, which, have been aplenty so far. Nothing too punishing, but little minor missteps that are just giving Lyon inches back into this game. You can see now still maintaining the gold lead only by about 800 gold, so still very even between these teams. But DZG, they need to try to acquire this next dragon to keep that rolling. If that goes over to the side of Lyon, that 6% is going to mean a lot for this Jinx, who just completed the Infinity Edge.
Her Infinity Edge and her positioning in teamfights are going to be very critical because there is a lot of high damage targets coming out of everyone from Lyon Gaming, but she is going to be the nail in the coffin if she can prioritize her positioning above all else. As we all know, the crits on those rockets, like you said, are just detrimental to any kind of success. And with the huge front line that DZG Max Trobo as well as Doom Trobo are going to create, she needs to be able to crank them down and crank them away as quickly as possible. Dragon is spawning here. Everybody is congregating. Jarrell has the teleport available. We might actually get to see our first big 5v5 in a couple seconds.
I see Core Pride trying to zone as much as possible. Throwing out that zap and those rockets at max range, trying to get a little bit of chip down onto Doom Trobo. They're starting up the dragon. This seems to be really risky. The teleport coming down from Giro right into the center onto the pink ward. Doom Trobo already down to half HP. Parallel convergence gets thrown out. Will not connect onto anybody. The Glacial Fissure used as well. And it looks like this could just be Lyon walking away, but no. Arce gets engaged on by Doom Trobo, gets pop up the air. Cobra, he's taken so low, however, he flashes away. Giro confirms the kill, and now the fight has just blown up Vulcan. He will go down. Core Pride able to find that kill, and he's just ripping through with the rockets from the backside, going in looking for the ace. It's just nothing here left alive so far. A 4-0 in favor of Lyon Gaming, and they just sweep the floor with DZG Fire.
Perseverance was the name of that team fight. They waited, they found their opportunity. Jarrell goes in and the rest of the team follows up. Nothing here was not in that fight until it was too late. Again, the perseverance of Yuri to hold on to that polymorph until nothing here joined the fight, was able to squirrel him away and squirrel him away a ways as he's able to get out of that alive. But you're right, 4 for 0. That's going to see a secure dragon as well as an inner turret on the bot side now. Lyon Gaming is starting to turn their inches into miles as they're pushing forward. They're sporting now a 4K gold lead, and they're doing things just by the book.
Yeah, a fantastic team fight coming out there for Lyon. Looked really scary at the start. They're getting pinched in to that dragon pit, but The poke coming out from Core Pride and that teleport down by Gerald just making the difference. That fight just went from poke to explosive in a matter of seconds, and Lyon just having Core Pride sit back with those rockets is exactly what we talked about. If he's able to just sit back and throw out these rockets, get those crits, it's just going to devastate the ranks of DZG, and that's exactly what happened. We can see he is starting to hit like a truck with that static shiv completed as well. Now finds himself about 400 gold up over top of nothing here. Still has that 2-0, but the 1-1-5 doing work for Core Pride, and it's only really going to go up from here unless DZG can work out a pick. They need to have better ward coverage deeper into the jungle of Lyon so that they can actually try to find people out when they're by themselves, pick them off, and then go for the pushes that they were trying to do earlier on in the game.
I really want to sit and talk about Core Pride again, though, because like you said, he was able to sit back and do things there. If we want to look at the difference, 400 gold doesn't seem like a lot, but it's where that 400 gold between him and nothing here is getting prioritized that's really made all of the difference. He's sitting on an Infinity Edge as well as a Static Shiv, did not opt to go for the Berserker's Grief, so he is very confident in his positioning. He is the #1 ranked player in solo queue of Latin American North, so he has a little bit of the title to swing behind his great feats, but it's his positioning and his, I guess, ability to trust in his team that they're going to be where they need to be at any point in time has really helped them a lot in this fight. It showed in the last team fight that they had. He's not the one with all the kills, but with 5 assists, 6 out of 7 kill participation is definitely something that Lyon Gaming wants and something that they're going to want to keep up as this game progresses.
Yeah, absolutely. And we can see we have hit the 22-minute mark. Gold lead has been stretched quite significantly from where it was a couple minutes ago. Lyon Gaming now finding themselves up by about 3,400 gold. Still not the most significant difference, but definitely a gap, a deficit that is now there for DZG Fire where it was not before. Baron more likely to become a point of contention as we move forward here. You know, Frag starting to become a little bit tankier here as he gets his items coming in. Core Pride able to dish out the damage. If they get a pick onto, say, Doom Trobo, especially to take away that smite, they definitely could go for a 5-man Baron push and likely be able to take that with relative ease. Cobra getting locked in by those choppers right next to the tower. He can't even try to get out of that one. No help from his team whatsoever. Gets burned out. Core Pride finds himself that kill. Vulcan gets locked in by another Dark Binding. That's a double kill going over to the junction of Doom Trobo, doing what he can, but he just gets locked down and kited back. Core Pride with the triple kill. Is that going to be the quadra kill? It looks like it's not going to be, actually, as Yuri takes that one away, but Lyon Gaming are looking to seal the deal on this game as they move over to Baron. A 4-for-0 yet again in their favor.
Capitalization. Cobra was out a little bit too far, hit the chain CC. Core Pride followed up. Oh my gosh, that was unbelievable right there. He's able to secure the triple kill, almost a quadra kill if it wasn't for the KS and Yuri, but that's going to be kills on kills as well as a Baron now. They've extended their lead. Lyon Gaming capitalizing on some ill moves and some ill steps of the members of DZG Fire and showing exactly why they're one of the top Latin American teams and they need to be a force to be reckoned with in this tournament.
Yeah, trying to make up for that whole not making it into the international wildcard thing, it seems. Really showing up in this tournament. This is a great way for them to kick off this tournament as an entirety. And if this is what can be expected from all of the matchups that we're going to have coming through in the next couple weeks for HTC Ascension, then I don't know about you, Jump, but I'm pretty damn excited because this is a pretty phenomenal game so far, especially for Lyon. I'm sure they're feeling pretty good about it, but they'll feel even better when they finally, if they close this out and walk away with that 1-0 victory to start off this best-of-3 set. We can see forcing their way down this mid lane, just ripping through that tower. Core Pride, he is hit one major power spike, the BT rather, almost coming in for him, just going to be a little bit shy of that. Hasn't even gotten his tier 2 boots yet, just opting to go straight for the AD items rather than his attack speed.
That's muscle flexing if I've ever seen it before. He, again, confident in his team, confident in himself, and does not care what the battle that is faced in front of him. He's going to do exactly what he wants to do, and he's going to do it well. 4-1-6 right now. Just vaulting ahead of nothing here and really showing himself to be a dominating force.
Absolutely. Doom Trobo trying to make a play, though. Gets a double pop-up with that Unburrow. Core Pride taken down quite low. The Chaos Storm coming through. Arce will go down. Nothing here. Finds that kill. Now Gerald going to have to retreat out and around the other side of this wall. Doesn't look like he's in a position to get caught out, but that is the pick that I was talking about. That's what DZG needs to get back in this game. But look at Jiro, goes in and just melts down. Nothing here. The Tristana just falling to the wayside. And now here comes Core Pride straight back in. Double kill going over to Frag, and it's a damn near ace yet again for Lyon Gaming, who are looking to just shove straight up this mid lane yet again and maybe take their first inhibitor of the game.
Frag was angry. He wanted some participation in this too. Picks up the double kill, and that's going to be a pretty clean and easy inhibitor right now for Lyon Gaming. 25 minutes, 45-second inhibitor. They're rocking, they're rolling, and they're showing them that even Latin American teams can do well too. This is retribution for not making it into the World Tournament. They're wanting to flex their muscles as big as possible and say, hey, we're just as good as everyone says we think we are.
Yeah, they are looking so strong right now, and I can only hope for their sake that this carries over into the next game. We do have to, oh wow, Doom Shovo takes a void rush into the tunnel, but doesn't realize there's 3 members waiting right there. And Core Pride just ripping through him yet again. 6-1 and 9 now on this Jinx. That is a terrifying sight if you're DZG Fire, and just finds himself yet another kill. Doom Shovo has to be regretting that one. I am being told that Core Pride, this is actually Seiya's account. So this is in fact Seiya playing. I thought for a second that we had a substitute player in, but we will begin referring to him as Seiya from here on forward. But look at that Jinx. Absolutely just destroying.
But he has the boots too now. So he's he has the boots too now. So he goes into the metas kind of things, finishes Berserker Greaves, but on top of that also completes the Bloodthirster now. He might be even in farm, but he's up a whopping 2.5k gold on Nothing Here. Nothing Here is pretty much Nothing Here at this point in time. Just absolutely dominating the game, dominating the force. And it's just, again, Lyon, their proactivity, it seems like they're just 1, 2, 3 steps ahead of DZG Fire. Every move that they're making, every step that they're stepping is just getting counteracted and pretty much predicted at this point in time. Big props to Lyon Gaming at really pushing themselves forward and showing what kind of things that they can do in this tournament.
Yeah, we can see this gold lead is just out of this world right now. It's looking like we're almost past the point of no return here for DZG Fire, unless they get a miraculous team fight or several picks in a row and can make a massive play off of it. I fear for their future in this match, because Lyon Gaming is looking pretty much unstoppable at the current moment. 16-4, up a dragon, up 4 towers, and a plethora of gold. You can see Seiya just pushing straight into that base, taking a couple tower shots. He doesn't care.
Geraldo!
And Gerald just destroys Max Trovo. Counter pick, I think not, ladies and gentlemen. Now Doom Trovo getting locked up by that parallel convergence as Frag goes deep into the base. Will evade getting that tower aggro anymore, and it just gets burned down by Seiya, who throws out those rockets, takes Nothing Here down to half HP. They have to jump the safety. Now Cobra getting melted underneath of his own tower. He goes down. Yuri will find that kill. Explosive charges out, but it does not matter. There's plenty of shields to go around here for Frag as they burn down their second inhibitor of the game. The third now falling in the top side of the map. It looks like Lyon Gaming are just going to go ahead and try to close this one out right here. The Nexus Towers being beaten down. The first one falls. The second one is going to follow suit, and Lyon Gaming is going to go up 1-0 in this best of 3 against DZG Fire.
Perseverance is the name of the game, securing the 29-minute victory. Phenomenal job by Lyon Gaming. They were able to make the early game 2v1 work in their favor, got the towers that they needed. We're down an early dragon, but again, perseverance, they waited, and then the second that team fight happened at the dragon number 2, that's when things got crazy and out of control. Seiya, 6-1 and 10. Phenomenal job by him. 13.1k gold, up over 2k gold on every other member of his team. It's just, again, unbelievable job by Lyon Gaming, really flexing their muscles in game 1.
Yeah, absolutely. And taking a look at the gold at the end of that, about a 4,000 gold lead for Seiya over top of Nothing Here, just absolutely destroying his opponent, post lane phase. And then you have to give it up to Jurel as well, playing that Fiora to a T. Max Trobo just getting melted in that last fight in the top side of the map, throws down the Grand Challenge and just burns through his HP like it's absolutely nothing, like a hot knife through butter. So really great performance overall by Lyon. DZG gonna have to step it up moving into this next game. They will have blue side, which statistically does have advantages in these sets. So we'll see if that can make the difference, but I'm expecting a lot of changes to the pick and ban phase.
I want to see what DZG is going to do as far as changes go, because you're right. They have blue side. They're able to have the first pick. But this is kind of a moment where you question yourself of, okay, do we change our picks and bans up? Because, yes, Saya was able to go off 6-1 and 10. But Yuri on that Lulu also did phenomenally well. Didn't die the entire game. Lord Geralt as well. So there's an option, okay, do we change the pick bans? Do we just keep things consistent and throw this away as kind of a fluke game? And what are you prioritizing for a first pick in this game? Because blue side, you're right, it's going to get the first pick, and as strong as picks that we've seen come out of Lyon Gaming so far, they're going to have the 1-2. And while generally securing that first pick is obviously preferred, being able to secure 2 picks again to counteract that right off the bat is something that Lyon Gaming might actually benefit from if the ban phase goes in their favor.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. But I don't know. We'll have to see what DZG wants to do to try to adapt to this one. Likely going to be meeting right now with their coach, with their analysts to try to figure out how they can come back in this set and try to take it to 3 games. Because right now, Lyon, if they have a repeat performance like that, it's looking like it's going to be a 2-0. They just came out the gates swinging for the fences. And I don't know, we'll have to see if they're going to be able to hit the home run or if DZG is going to inch their way back into this and take them to a 3-set. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. When we come back, it's going to be Game 2, DZG Fire versus Lyon Gaming.